大谷翔平ニュースチャンネルへようこそ。
MLB 今夜、大谷翔平の57本塁打到達やトレード期限など、後半戦の可能性のある複数のストーリーラインについて議論。
So, fellas, second half storylines. First off with Ohtani, Cliffy, 57 home runs. Does he get there?
I don't think he gets there because of, the second half is when you have contending teams that's going to pitch carefully to him. And until Mike Trout gets healthy, he's going to have to sort of figure out who's pitching to him and who's not. The biggest thing we've seen Phil Nevin hit him leadoff.
Yeah.
Right? So you're seeing a different Ohtani in the first inning.
For you, Rex, 60 home runs, 57 in that range?
I'm not gonna say that ShoheiOhtani can't do it. I mean, just based off what we've seen from this guy, he does things that nobody's ever seen in the game of baseball. I wouldn't doubt if he can go on a run like he did a couple of weeks ago. Was it the month of June? I mean, it was incredible. I think he hit 14 home runs. If he can do something like that one more time this year, I mean, that puts him above and beyond that pace. To me, this guy, he really can do absolutely anything. I think if anyone's going to do it this year, obviously this year it's going to be him.
You know what? I led off one year. I was struggling, and Jimmy Leland led me off when I was with the Marlins. And I remember, just having a different mindset of like first pitch fastballs. I was ambushing guys. I had 10 homers in a month. So it's just the mindset changes when you have guys on base. It's different as a leadoff guy, but when you actually starting the game off and you sort of just going up there and pitcher trying to get loose, you're like, I won't let you get loose. I'm gonna try to ambush you real quick.
I love it. Ohtani, is he gonna get traded or not, Rec?
I don't think so. I don't know how the Angels can do it. They're still in the race in the AL, and to me, when you've got a guy like this that's not just bringing the excitement and obviously is your best player, but he also has to be bringing them money, right? I mean, that's part of what this game is about, is the business side. To me, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to trade him. Now, that said, look, you don't want to lose him for nothing. So I'm not going to say it's out of the realm of possibilities, because what you could get back for this man is something we've never seen, just like he's going to get paid something we've never seen. So to that end, I would say I probably would at least be considering offers, but I don't want to see him get traded. I want to see him have an opportunity with Trout in the playoffs.
It's a good point, though, right, Cliffy? Because at worst case, he's going to win MVP. That's 2 months of the fans being fired up. Like, it's a nice signature moment for the franchise. Like, you have to at least entertain the offers, but the worst case is still not horrible.
Right, trading him.
Because you have such a great asset there you have to take advantage of.
You do, and you can't lose him, like you said. You can't just let him walk out. You have to understand the business side of this thing, and I'm a fan. If I'm sitting in the stands, out there in Anaheim, I am watching him. I am not going to the bathroom. I'm not going to get any food. I appreciate what he brings to the table, but when you think about the organization, and you think about where you are and how you've lost so much with the best player on the planet and Mike Trout, and then you add Ohtani and you still lose, and then you go out there and sign Anthony Rendon and you still lose. You have to figure something out. And I just feel like, if you're going to just let him walk, then you're going to stay the doormat for a lot longer than what you've been dealing with the last few years.
All right, be bold, be aggressive, get something for nothing, get some assets. All right, biggest name move to the trade deadline. Who you got?
Look, I'm looking at Marcus Stroman and Tim Anderson, but Marcus Stroman first. And the reason I say Marcus Stroman is because he's pitched as good as he can possibly pitch. He's healthy, he's strong, his ERA sits up there at the top. He's talking about being, at least considerations for, Cy Young this year. They haven't talked about extension. Why? So something's up with that for me. I'm there a lot. I cover this team a lot, and I just wonder what it is. Like, it can't be performance. It can't be health. He's taking care of his body totally different than he has in the past. He's done some things that just put him in just as far as a leader in the clubhouse. Maybe they do get it done. I'm just wondering why it hasn't been done when you sign a few players. And then on the flip, on the south side with Tim Anderson, it's been a down year. We know that's his first home run of the day. Then some things off the field. I would say he has a team option at the end of the season at $14 million, which is light for a guy of his caliber, right? And so you give him a mulligan on this year, get himself back right. But I believe if you don't trade him, then you pick up the option to trade him in the offseason, I think the Dodgers will be a team for me that could take on a guy like Tim Anderson and see what he does. And you know, because he's not going to disrupt the clubhouse.
No.
He'll be a guy to come in and help you out if he gets hot in the second half.
And too good a player. Like, it's shocking to see his numbers from just a couple of years ago. 309, 806. This has been a down year.
I'm punting this year.
Yeah.
And, you know, sometimes you punt a season because, guys, we better start realizing the personal side of things can derail you from being a great player. So, you know, he gets his head back on straight. I talked to him a little bit. He's in a good place.
Yeah.
So you want him in the second half to sort of go out there and do his thing.
Good for the game of baseball, too. Rack, who you got?
I'm going to go with Corbin Burns, and that's a guy on a team that's competing. You wouldn't necessarily expect them to be sellers, you know, but this is a Milwaukee team that has shown in the past, last year, when they are in the middle of it, that they're willing to trade a piece to get something in return. Now look, he still has another year of control under his belt, so this isn't something that they have to do this year. But here's the trade we saw last year with Josh Hader, where they let go, you know, of arguably the best closer in the game. I mean, obviously Edwin Diaz not healthy this year, and they got a guy in Cleveland, Clase, who's very good as well. But Hader was fantastic for them, but they got a haul. I mean, they got some really good players, a guy who's big league ready, and Taylor Rogers and some others. You know, so realistically, I just see the Brewers having the ability to flip this guy, get some guys who can help them right away again next year, and go right back at it again next year. Because, I mean, as much as I like this team, and they're still in the mix, I don't see them necessarily winning the World Series this year. So from that perspective, I don't think it's bad business. And they can get guys that can still help them this season with the team that they have. I'm not saying that I want them to go out and trade Corbin, but after everything that happened in the offseason, with the contract, with the arbitration hearing, him being unhappy, maybe it's not a terrible idea to let him move on, because his performance hasn't been as great this year. I don't think you're going to get you know, below market value for him. You're still going to get a lot for him. So you move him on, and I think his performance ticks up because of that.
Acrimonious.
Never understood it. Didn't understand that whole, you know, arbitration situation this spring. And I think it hurt him. I really think he went out there.
なのでしょう。長時間のフルスイングを求められるホームランダービーに出場したがゆえに、打撃フォームを崩した選手は、枚挙に、いとまがありませんから。いかに負担が大きいかは、一昨年、出場して、肩で息をしていた大谷が誰よりもわかっていますよ。右手中指の割れた爪や豆は、打つ方に、全く影響ないし、現に DH なら、ベストで出られると言っています。つまり今年の大谷は、ファンサービスをパスしてまで、自身の成績にこだわっているということです。大谷はオフ、メジャー史上最大の契約を結ぶと言われている。米メディアの予想も、大谷が本塁打を量産するにつれて金額が跳ね上がり、800億円から最近は1000億円という、とてつもない数字がネット上に踊っている。前半戦の打撃成績は、メジャートップの32本塁打、リーグ2位の71打点、リーグ6位の打率。302と三冠王も射程圏。あまり良くないと話す。投手成績にしても、サイ・ヤング賞の選考で重視される奪三振は、リーグ3位の132。2年ぶりの MVP は、ほぼ確実視されているから、タイトル総なめの可能性まで出てきた。となると1000億円という桁外れの数字もあながち、盛りすぎとも思えなくなってくるが、大谷の狙いも、投打のタイトル独占にあるのではないか。かのベーブ・ルース以来の二刀流という道を切り開いた、今、次の目標があるとすれば投打ともナンバーワンになることです。移籍するにしろ、残るにしろ、本人の望みは優勝すること。強豪球団に壊れて、メジャー史上最大の契約を結ぶためには、これまで以上のパフォーマンスが求められる。少なくとも本人はそう考えていますよとは前出の特派員だ。
面白かったら、チャンネル登録して、お友達とビデオを共有してください。さようなら、また会いましょう。